Our traffic and weather first.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2577. 800-375-2577. 800-375-2577.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-9336. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-9336. That's 800-444-9336. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-444-9336.
From Hook Restaurant in St. Clair Shores, this is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR. Today we're live for National Safe Boating Week. This broadcast is sponsored by Colony Marine. They don't just sell boats, they sell the boating lifestyle. Visit colonymarine.com. Here is Ryan Ermanni.
Hey, let's go on a Friday, May 22nd, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon. My good friends along for the ride. Beth Ann Long is here with me. Danielle Mason, live at the Fisher Building. She is still across the glass, ladies and gentlemen, but we are joined out here as well by 2 of the best engineers in the business, the great Ray Templin and Dave Rieger. Are you kidding me? Guys, what a crew we got out here. Absolutely. I'm clapping. Yes. Thank you. How's everybody doing? Live from Hook on the Nautical Mile in St. Clair Shores on Lake St. Clair in Macomb County. Our friends at Colony Marine are hosting us here as we celebrate the unofficial or official kickoff to the boating season, and of course kicking off the unofficial start of summer. Absolutely. And Memorial Day weekend the right way. It is National Safe Boating Week, and we're going to talk about boating, the lifestyle of it, the safety of it, the business of boating as well. And we're going to mix some news in, no doubt about it. As you just heard, by the way, Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, she has resigned from her post. Now, the president reacted to that in a Truth Social post as well, saying she did a great job, and unfortunately it was a family matter that caused her to do that. But more news throughout the day. Let me first welcome in my good friend Beth Ann Long, who boy, do I miss you when you're gone. I love all the film. I'm glad you get your time, but 1, I miss you when you're gone, and 2, I apologize for yesterday. You know, when everybody deserves time off, everybody needs time off, and I asked Beth Ann to get involved with the show yesterday, and I apologize for that.
Well, I'm always there to help you, and I mean, like, I did start it by texting you, like, I know I have a day off, but did you see this now?
And it was all of the Mike Duggan stuff, but we thrust Beth Ann into work yesterday, and we'll make that up to you. How about that?
Okay, I don't want to hear from you on my next day off.
Deal. Thanks, Beth Ann. Glad to be out here with you. Want to thank everybody out at Hook as well. They have a beautiful buffet for us. We'll be here through 4 o'clock, and then we might even stay and have a drink or two afterwards. If you'd like to come on out, we invite you to do so on the Nautical Mile in St. Clair Shores. Great restaurant here, Hook. Meanwhile, let's get you caught up on some local news as well. Under proposals released by the Archdiocese of Detroit, at least 22 parishes across the region could see an end to Saturday or Sunday masses in the coming years. Other parishes would be grouped together in what's being called a family of parishes. WJR's Marie Osborne joins us with that story. Hey, Marie, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Ryan, doing great. So these changes come after months of listening sessions and meetings with church officials and parish leaders. The plans divide the region into 15 geographic areas, each with several possible models. And in a lot of them, parishes are grouped together under a single pastor. Some churches in those groups would no longer host weekend services. The areas most affected include Detroit, Hamtramck, and Downriver communities in Monroe County. Among the churches listed in at least one model is St. Cunningunga, Most Holy Trinity, St. John Paul II, St. Augustine, St. Monica, St. Mary Magdalene, St. Alfred, St. Cyprian, and St. Anne in Monroe. So that is just one grouping that they received this news. Church leaders say these proposals really reflect a difficult reality. The projected loss of about 90 priests in the next decade, aging buildings, financial strain. About 40% of the parishes currently operate with budget deficits. The Archdiocese is facing nearly $94 million in unfunded capital needs. And more than 200 listening sessions have already taken place, and nearly as many are still coming up. Officials say that these models are drafts, and parishioner feedback would lead to significant changes, could lead to significant changes. So, Ryan, these final groupings are expected to all be announced by 2027. And while some of the buildings may eventually close, others could be repurposed for weddings, baptisms, or educational programs. So, anyone wanting more information, maybe you'd like to know where your church falls in all this, you can go to restructuring.aod.org.
You know, this is one of those decisions that is going to be so emotional, too, for so many individual people, generations of families and neighborhoods as well. These are the anchors, the pillars of community in so many cities throughout the Metro Detroit area, and it is something that has to be rectified. You hope that there's a situation where they really truly do listen to the community, because you know, I feel like this, whether you go to a school board meeting, whether you go to a city council meeting, whatever meeting that they have listening sessions to, how many times, Marie, does it feel like, yes, they invite the public to come out, but the decision has already been made on what they're going to do with these businesses? And I hope they do listen to the communities. I hope there's a situation where they take to heart what is happening in these communities, instead of just making the decision up and moving on from there.
Yeah, I think you're very right about that. And as you know, like you said, this is an extremely emotional thing. There are a lot of parishioners who are lifelong members of their churches, their buildings. They've had baptisms, weddings, funerals, and for entire families, generations even, taking place in just that one church. So saying you're going to close that building is going to be a very, very difficult sell for so many people.
No doubt. Marie, we're going to talk to you again next hour, but are you a boater?
No, but I do love the water. And I just think I'm just so jealous of you today. I know you're out on the water, and it's just, we're so lucky here to have the kind of waterfronts that we do.
It is incredible. And the best part about living in Michigan is not owning a boat. It is having a friend that owns a boat.
That owns the boat, right. Yeah, what's the best day of your life? The day you get your boat. What's the best day of your life? The day you sell your boat. Yeah, I know. I heard all that. Yeah.
No, we love it. All right, Marie, we'll check in with you in just a little bit. Coming up in the next segment, we're going to be joined by Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle. It is National Safe Boating Week, and there's a lot going on. We are live from Hook, and we're having a lot of fun. Boating is an absolute lifestyle, and Pete Beauregard from Colony Marine, who has us out, does a tremendous job. Generations of families. They've been doing it for over 50 years, damn near 60 years. Can I say that on the air? I just did. It's Friday. We're at a bar. It's fine. 760 WJR.
The Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear is back. Now we're talking with Scott Bell, Vice President, Chevrolet GM North America. And Scott, Chevrolet has been part of the Detroit Grand Prix for many years now, but what makes this event so important to the brand and to the city of Detroit?
Yeah, look, at Chevrolet, we're proud to be the title sponsor of the Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix, and it's actually for the 14th year now. That kind of continuity that really speaks, and not only to racing, but also to this great city of Detroit.
How do you feel about bringing world-class racing to your hometown right here in the streets of Detroit?
It is very special. And Detroit, I think we all know, is the heart of the auto industry. There's really no better backdrop than these streets on the last weekend in May. And the race has never disappointed. It's always delivered great action, also brings a real economic impact. And I think a strong sense of pride for the people and the businesses that call this city their home.
The Chevrolet Detroit Grand Prix presented by Lear, downtown Detroit, May 29th through the 31st. Visit DetroitGP.com.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Consumers Energy is powering Michigan's future. Learn how at consumersenergy.com.
In Metro Detroit, we know that some days are easier than others. But this May, for Mental Health Awareness Month, we're focusing on how we can have more good days together. A good day looks different for everyone. It might mean feeling grounded, finding a moment of connection, or simply having the energy to show up. Mental health. America is encouraging all of us to reflect on what we need to thrive and how we can support those around us. You don't have to navigate the tough days alone. Start by taking a free confidential mental health screening at mhascreening.org.
I'm Ann Thomas. Congratulations to the 2026 Women Who Lead class. Christine Keno, Haven of Oakland County President and CEO, says domestic violence is a big problem in many communities.
There's 100,000 calls for service in one city. 2/3 of that is domestic violence related, if you can believe that or not.
Special thanks to University of Michigan Health Von Voigtlander Women's Hospital for supporting Women Who Lead.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Treetops Resort. Treetops' 5 distinguished courses mean every round lives up to its promise. Spectacular. Layer in the unlimited golf stay and play package, and the value becomes impossible to ignore. Quality, quantity, and consistency. Honestly, it's one of the best golf deals in Michigan. To book, call Treetops. The Jeffries eastbound has reopened between Middle Belt and Inkster Road. Still have some slow traffic from Farmington Road there. We do have some slowdowns on 75 northbound after Allen Road as well. That accident is cleared, but folks are still caught in the aftermath. That accident on 75 northbound at Mount Morris is cleared. Do have construction slowing you down on 75 southbound at I-696. That's blocking your left lane. And 75 southbound at Outer Drive. Steer clear of some construction there blocking your left lane. You should only have to deal with that until 3 p.m. next Thursday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
We do have showers in the forecast for the holiday weekend. The worst day looks like Saturday, but much milder, and sunshine could return by Memorial Day. Upper 60s, east breeze today. Going to go about 67, partial sunshine. Clouds will thicken up tonight and maybe some showers after midnight, 52. It'll stay quite breezy. Suburbs, you'll be in the 40s. Scattered showers tomorrow. That east breeze continues to rip, 65. Showers will end tomorrow night. Sunday, cloudy, 75. And then by Monday, Memorial Day, sunshine and warm up near 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming up Monday, Memorial Day here on JR Morning. Learn about an unsung hero in America's battle for independence with the author of a new book about the Virginia Giant, the Hercules of the Revolution, and the man dubbed George Washington's one-man army, Peter Francisco. Tune in on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app, and have yourself a peaceful Memorial Day.
.760 WJR. We are live at Hook in St. Clair Shores. It is National Safe Boating Week. We're out here courtesy of our friends from Colony Marine, Pete Beauregard, one of the best. If you need a boat, go look at that guy. He'll be coming up in just a little bit. Mark Hackle, the Macomb County executive, is with us now. I feel like Macomb County thrives all year, obviously, but there is something special about Lake St. Clair, the freshwater, the shoreline, this particular time of year.
You know, Metro Beach, Gull Island, Pete Beauregard, those are iconic landmarks here in Macomb County. So we're so fortunate to have these guys around here. But, you know, we got an incredible lake here. I mean, the busiest freshwater lake than any other during the summer months. And even the folks that understand about bass fishing and the fishery that we have out here, best bass fishery on the planet. And that's according to those that are the pros that come out here and actually will have their tournaments out here. So we're so fortunate. There's so much excitement here, multi-billion-dollar economy annually. Again, just a great place to recreate.
The amount of fresh water, the amount of shoreline, the businesses that have come from that, that's one of the main features of Macomb County and what makes it special, is it not?
Yeah, and we're making more accessible for people to actually want to visit and kind of experience what we see out here on Lake St. Clair, whether it's just obviously just people out there boating in and around the area, people that are going to recreate, people that want to sail, people that want to fish. There's so many opportunities and so many ways to access the lake itself right now. A lot of marinas in and around the area, so people want to buy a boat, you know, Pete's going to be there to sell you a boat.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of marinas and a lot of folks that have homes that are renting space out in front of their homes at some of these canals. So, again, it's a great place. Again, there's no other lake that's as busy when it comes to boating than Lake St. Clair.
You talk about the access and the increased access and wanting people to come down to Macomb County and experience all that it has to offer. I know that's an important initiative, too. It's a plan to get people to come on out and enjoy what we have here.
Yeah, it was intentional. We started with this whole green comb that was trying to get the people to realize, you know, we got to do better as far as a tree canopy here. But the one that we really focused on was our blue economy, getting people to realize the asset that we have here. You heard about the Pure Michigan branding that we looked at Macomb County and thought, make Macomb your home was kind of a brand that we put together, but realizing what is it about Macomb County that makes it so special? And that is one of the highlighted features is Lake St. Clair, that coastline we have. And obviously the Clinton River, our main street that runs through the heart of Macomb County. We had to clean up an incredible amount of woody debris. There was hundreds of log jams in and around the areas, whether it was in Utica, Sterling Heights, Shelby Township. We cleaned all those up, and so now you can actually traverse like you would on the Rifle River, Sabo River up in the north end. You're on that river, and you canoe and paddle out to Lake St. Clair. I'm going to tell you, you feel like you're somewhere up north. It's absolutely scenic, an incredible asset for us here, and we're trying to figure out how do we build opportunities on that riverfront for those municipalities, so you can see it, up front. Maybe some restaurants and other things that might be of assets.
You talk about make Macomb your home in some of the different themes that you guys really live in. Macomb with everybody as well. I've got some pins here that I'm wearing because I love Macomb County. I'm born and raised. I'm from Macomb County. There is something about the people here too that are so welcoming, and they want to help out everyone around them.
Yeah, we're not programmed. We don't just look at it as Macomb County's on an island of its
Sure.
own. We're not. We realize, we
that's
gotta
one of
be
the
competitive.
special parts about this place.
It is, and we realized, early on, once we started with this new form of government, we thought, how do we reach out to our counterparts, Wayne, Oakland, as well as St. Clair? We connect with each and every one of them. There's some value they add to Macomb. We add value to each one of those counties. But as a region, we're competing with other regions around the globe for a multitude of assets. Getting people to want to live here first and foremost, but also trying to figure out how do we bring an economy here. In Macomb County right now, 15 years ago when we started this new form of government, we were a $32 billion annual economy. As we sit here today, we're a $59 billion annual economy. So it's working together and trying to figure out, how do we get that mantra of, being with everyone. I think it's really set us apart and given us an opportunity to let people realize we want to partner. We want to be supportive of the entire region, as well as the relationships at the state level.
Talking to the Macomb County executive, Mark Hackle, and you talk about that growth in Macomb County. You talk about all of the business and all of the people that want to be here. Working together is so important. And those numbers don't happen if you don't have collective interest getting stuff done. I almost want to use another word than stuff because there's so much frustration around the state, around the country. You've got two sides of people that will not work together. In Macomb County, that is one of your strengths. It feels like everybody is working together for the people that live here and beyond. Talk about that partnership that you have with each other.
Yeah, and I've often looked at it, and what we're talking about is basically the partisan politics issue that comes into play that oftentimes gets in the way. And so with that being said, I tend to look at, my role when I first got elected as the sheriff. My role wasn't to be the Democratic sheriff or to be the Republican sheriff. It was to be the sheriff. And oftentimes when you get elected and you had a run based upon a partisan ticket, people tend to try to draw your attention to support every little issue that they want you to draw into. And so my responsibility is realizing once you become the executive, once you become the governor, once you become the president, set the politics aside. You are not the president of the Republican or Democratic Party. You're not the governor of the Democrat or Republican Party. You're the governor of the state of Michigan. And so as a county executive, my role is to say, I'm the executive of Macomb County. How do we reach across the aisle? How do we get in the aisle? How do we work together to try to solve the problems that the people really want to talk about? Talking about roads and infrastructure, talking about mental health, substance use, talking about quality of life assets. How do you bring economic vitality to a community? Those are the things that we've been able to do. And we're very fortunate because I think in Macomb County, we have lessened the conversation on politics. Nobody talks anytime we have a conversation about something about right, left. In fact, look at the success we've had, whether it's a Mountain Road construction project, the jail that we're building, and we've got cash to build that jail. Look what just happened at Selfridge Air Base, where the governor and the president of the United States, two opposing parties, came together and said, we're bringing those fighter jets to Macomb County for the state of Michigan. And now you've got our legislator up in Lansing just recently announcing they've come across and really put the exclamation point on the funding that was necessary to get that runway done. And they did it together in a bipartisan way. So we're fortunate here in Macomb County. People realize we're willing to get things done, not based on politics, but based on what needs to be done and what are the people looking to get us to get done. And working together in Macomb with everybody has been that mantra for the last 15 years here.
And then on the news of what happened yesterday, I do think that's one of the reasons so many people were intrigued with Mike Duggan as a third option, running as an independent, somebody that was seen as a problem solver that would have worked with both sides. What was your reaction to him dropping out of the race yesterday?
First and foremost, running as an independent is still, even though it's not registered as a party, it's still a political party. And, I think Mike early on started talking, and a lot of conversation was kind of talking about, the Democrats and Republicans and the problems and challenges they're facing. Again, if you're running for office, quit talking about the other parties. Quit talking about the other candidates and, the unwillingness of one party or the other to work together. Talk about what it is you're going to be able to do, how you're going to solve problems. And rather than being a party of opposition, no matter who you are, instead of being the party of opposition, be the party or be the person with a position that can relate to the public to help solve the problems that they're looking to have solved on a daily basis. And right now, There are many challenges. We're having gas prices, food, making sure that the economy is growing, getting people to want to live here. Those are things that are important to people in Macomb County. And with that being said, they really don't want to hear about politics right now. They don't want to hear about the right and left. They're looking for a candidate they can rally behind. It's somebody that they can say is, you know what, this person's got a cult of personality. We believe they're going to try to figure out how they solve problems, and they're not going to continue to talk about or badmouth the other side, no matter what side they're from.
Yeah, we can tell everybody what the problems are, who's got the solutions, and who can execute those solutions. Mark Hackle, you're the best Macomb County executive. Enjoy the summer, my friend. I mean, we got a lot of fresh water, and we are live at Hook. Don't go anywhere. Mark, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Don't go anywhere. Look at this. We got a crowd now, too. How about it? We bring them out. We can pack them in, baby. All right, we are live at Hook for National Safe Boating Week, and we're going to talk about some of those safe roadways as well, or do we still call it the road? The waterway, the seaways. We'll talk to Anthony Wickersham, Macomb County Sheriff. We'll do that next. Out here, Colony Marine hosting 760 WJR.
Summer is just around the corner, and it's time to make sure your air conditioner is ready to keep your home cool. Crystal here from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, reminding you to schedule your summer service today. Our expert technicians will clean and check your air conditioning and make sure everything is running properly so you can head into the warm weather worry-free. Don't wait for the heat to hit. For a worry-free home, visit familyheating.com to find the location near you and call to schedule your summer service today.
The catcher. Squatting behind home, keeping those wild pitches from getting by. A good roof does the same. It protects a home from wild Michigan weather. An inferior catcher may cost you the game, but a bad roof may cost you your homeowner's insurance. If you or a loved one receives a letter from your insurance company regarding the age of your roof and your policy, don't wait. Act immediately. American Standard Roofing offers senior discounts or 0% interest for those who qualify. Protect your home team and visit AmericanStandardRoofing.com.
My name is Jenny Brown. I am the CEO of Dutton Farm. We are a nonprofit in the behavioral health system. It is so critical to partner with Tryon so that we are not making any HR missteps and able to fully comply with all regulations while also being able to provide benefits and workman's comp and really support our employees in the way that they need.
And that's why we rely on Tryon.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
You're hearing the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. Tulsi Gabbard resigning as Director of National Intelligence, adding she's stepping down to help her husband after he was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer.
She said that Abraham has been her rock since they've been married, and she submitted her resignation letter to the president and 2 members of the senior staff, announcing that her last day would be June 30th.
Fox's David Spunt in Washington. President Trump praising the new leader of the Federal Reserve, Kevin Warsh, sworn in today at a White House ceremony.
Honestly, I really mean this. This is not said in any other way. I want Kevin to be totally independent. I want him to be independent and just do a great job. Don't look at me. Don't look at anybody. Just do your own thing and do a great job.
The president often sparred with outgoing Fed Chair Jerome Powell. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by Skyworks Equipment Rental. Commercial and residential spring projects are in full swing. Now is the time to rent your equipment from Skyworks Equipment Rental. And don't forget to make those summer project rental reservations. Book today at skyworks-reliablerentals.com. That's skyworks-reliablerentals.com. We've got a wreck on I-75 southbound after Miana Road. Some slowdowns on 75 southbound at Outer Drive. That's scheduled until 3 p.m. next Thursday. And expect some delays on 75 northbound between Sashabaw and Holly Road. Construction blocks your left lane there. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Overcast and 63 for today. Cloudy with rain after midnight. More rain for Saturday with a high of 59. Mostly cloudy Sunday with a high of 71. A mix of sun and clouds Monday with a high of 78. Right now it's cloudy, 63 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni here. I want to tell you about my friends at Paramount Roofing. I just saw Eric Reno yesterday. The guy is fantastic, and service means so much to him. And this is better than all of it, though. The biggest way to save promotion, they have just dropped that. It's a deal you do not want to miss. We are talking no money down in 5 full years at 0% interest when you get a new roof replacement. That means you get the roof you need today and you pay over time without a penny of interest. None. Zero, zip, zilch. Paramount Roofing has been protecting homes in this area for years. They show up, they do the job right, they stand behind every single shingle. Built to last, backed for life. That's not just a slogan. That's a promise. Get your free estimate today. It costs you nothing to find out what your roof needs. The website to do that, weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com. Paramount Roofing, built to last, backed for life.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When did watching TV go from a way to relax to a complicated chore? Well, if you're sick of huge cable bills or endlessly searching for the show everyone's talking about, then welcome to Philo. Philo's the streaming service that respects both your time and your wallet, without needing to cut the stuff you actually love to watch. This means live TV from more than 70 channels like Hallmark, History, A&E, and Lifetime, plus a huge library of blockbuster movies and classic shows, and an easy-to-use unlimited DVR that lets you save anything you want, skip all the ads when you watch. The best part? You get all this for just $25 a month when you sign up at Philo.tv. No hidden fees, no long contracts, just a genuinely great deal. And new users can try it completely free for 7 days. So head to Philo.tv, that's PHILO.tv, and experience a better way to TV. Subscriptions auto-renew at monthly rate plus applicable taxes. Cancel anytime. See terms at Philo.
Metro Cars is currently seeking professional independent contractor elite luxury sedan drivers. This opportunity is ideal for individuals who value professionalism, flexibility, and delivering a high level of service. Applicants must be 23 or older with a clean driving record, a clean criminal background, no exceptions, and a commitment to exceptional customer care. For more than 35 years, Metro Cars has been a trusted transportation provider for executives, business travelers, and organizations across Michigan. Qualified candidates are encouraged to visit the Metro Cars corporate office at 24957 Brest Road in Taylor for open interviews. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., no appointment necessary. Additional information is available by calling 734-235-0750. Drive with a company known for professionalism, reliability, and experience. Metro Cars. WJR just made it easier for you to nominate the next All Talk All-Star with Kevin Dietz.
And this week's All Talk All-Stars, Krista Funk, the Executive Director of Detroit Regional Dollars for Scholars.
I think it's really just about having that guiding person to walk you through it.
Just send your nominees' information to alltalkallstars@cumulus.com. It's that easy.
Tom Violante, FAR in Birmingham.
Leadership has to be competent. It's got to be fiscally responsible. That leader has to be dynamic and driven.
Then listen to past winners at WJR.com/all-talk-all-stars.
Rick Snyder has long been someone who believes deeply in the idea of giving back. Governor Snyder, it's great to have you with us.
I like to joke with people, what do you do with an old governor? Or I'm on my 5th career now, and I think I may have a 6th in me. So
Send your nominee now to alltalkallstars@cumulus.com.
You're listening to JR Afternoon on WJR, live from Hook Restaurant in St. Clair Shores for the kickoff to the Macomb boating season. This afternoon's broadcast is sponsored by Colony Marine. They don't just sell boats, they sell the boating lifestyle. Visit colonymarine.com. Once again, here's Ryan Ermanni.
And welcome back. We are live at Hook in St. Clair Shores. We invite you to come on down to the Nautical Mile, broadcasting here through 4 o'clock, and we'll probably hang out for a little bit if you want to come say hello and enjoy a little Memorial Weekend as we kick off to that. It is National Safe Boating Week, and part of that boating lifestyle is being safe out on the waterways. And to help us talk about it, Lieutenant Gary Wieglin and Jamie Bagos, a sergeant with the Macomb County Sheriff's Office. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Lieutenant, let me start with you. Boating is fantastic. It is incredible, but the safety of it is imperative. When you are out on the waterways, just what is your overriding message to boaters out there as we kick off sort of the unofficial start to summer here?
Thanks for having us, Ryan. And first and foremost, we want people to come out and enjoy Lake St. Clair and have a good time and enjoy themselves. But safety is, at the forefront of our minds. I would remind people before you go out, before you take your boat out, there's certain pieces of safety equipment that are a must. Life jackets are obviously a very big deal. You want to have one life jacket on board your boat for each passenger. It's got to be the proper size and fit. It's got to be readily accessible. And for those passengers on your boat that are under the age of 6, they have to have a U.S. Coast Guard approved Type 1 or Type 2 life jacket on. They have to be wearing it. So that is one of the first things that the sheriff's deputies look for.
6 and under.
6 and under, and they have to have that life jacket on. That's very important to us. Other life-saving equipment, besides the wearable life jackets, what they call a Type 4 throwable device, that would be like the ring buoy that you see, just in case a passenger of your boat is having a hard time swimming or does unexpectedly fall overboard. You can throw that device to them and help rescue them that way. Of course, you also need a fire extinguisher, flares on your boat, or a visual distress signal, a sound producing device like a horn, whistle, or a bell. Cell phones, very, very important. Our dispatch center, a 911 call on Lake St. Clair, immediately our dispatch center can send exact latitude and longitude to our patrol boats to take the sheriff's deputies right to the scene if you needed assistance.
Life jackets feels like such a layup for people to have on their boats. Is that one major issue? It's almost like putting a seatbelt on in a car. Do you see that over and over and over again, lack of life jackets?
Unfortunately, we do. Or what we'll see is, people have life jackets stored in their boat and they don't regularly check on that life jacket. So it might not be readily accessible, or it might not be in good serviceable condition anymore. It might have a tear, a rip, a zipper doesn't work, a buckle doesn't work, but we do surprisingly see that. We'll see a boat with a large number of people on it. We stop the boat and ask the operator, hey, let me see a life jacket. I see 13 people on board your boat. Let me see 13 life jackets. And more often than not, people have a hard time producing one for every person on board.
And obviously, staying sober is so important. Sergeant Bagos, talk to me about that aspect of boating. Everybody wants to go out and have a good time. People might take a cooler out there wherever they're docking or whatever the case may be. What would you say to people in terms of staying sober out on the water?
The most important thing is alcohol can affect people a lot more easy, or it
in the sun.
In the sun, out on the water. The conditions are prime for a tragedy. So you have to have responsibility when consuming alcohol, especially goes for the operator of the vessel.
Lieutenant, what would you say about that? Just staying sober out on on the waterways?
You know, it's imperative, Ryan. And although, alcohol, you see it on the boats, and having open alcohol is legal, but you will reach that 0.08 limit far quicker, out in the fresh air on a hot sunny day as your body becomes dehydrated. And I can say over my years, I have 30 years with the Sheriff's Department, most of which at the Marine Division. Almost every tragic boat accident or fatal boat accident, almost every one, you can point to alcohol one way or another. That, hey, without the consumption of alcohol, some different decisions would have been made, and those situations wouldn't have been as tragic as they were. So it's very important.
Is it like a police officer on the road, if you see erratic behavior, if you see something that just is a miss on the road, you're going to pull that car over? Is that the same issue for a boater? What are you looking for?
It is the same. I mean, again, we don't want to ruin anyone's weekend. We want them to have a good time.
Yeah.
But if we see any kind of erratic behavior, any kind of unsafe driving conditions, reckless operation, wake violations, you're too close to shore.
Yeah, that's another
throwing a
one.
big
That's a
wave.
great point.
What we call, driving too fast for conditions. Boats don't have brakes. You're weaving in and out of congested boat traffic. Or if we see a boat with a lot of people on board, and we don't see people wearing life jackets, we want to make sure they have them. If we see young people without a life jacket, those are all reasons for a boat stop.
Absolutely.
But I will say the Sheriff's Department, our Marine Division's motto is law enforcement through education. So last year, for instance, we made over 500 boat stops. Those 500 boat stops netted 70 citations.
Wow.
So we don't write, for every boat stop that we make, we're not writing a lot of tickets.
That's incredible.
We'll try to educate
Yeah.
people. My deputies will, or our deputies will pass out life jackets. They'll give people safety equipment, or they'll educate them, turn them around, have them go back to shore, get what they need, and then come out and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
That is an incredible statistic. Over 500 boat stops, 70 citations. Want everybody to have a good time. Just do it
Correct.
safely
Correct.
Through education. Lieutenant Gary Wieglin, Sergeant Jamie Bagos from the Macomb County Sheriff's Department. We appreciate you guys. Did I say it correctly?
Yes, sir.
All right, Bagos. We got it, baby. Coming right back with Pete Beauregard, the owner of Colony Marine. He's the reason we're out here today. 760 WJR.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. We're all glad to finally be able to enjoy walks, golf, pickleball, and other activities outside. Don't let severe or chronic back, neck, or knee pain get in the way of you doing the things you love. Call my friend Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Thousands of people have reduced or eliminated their pain thanks to his gentle, relaxing, non-invasive, and best of all, non-surgical intra-disc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments that stimulate the body's natural healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your hands, arms, and legs, osteoarthritis, or meniscus tears, Dr. Kogan can help you. Mention WJR in May to receive a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 for your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC, 586-416-3472. Probate is bad. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's completely public. But the good news is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. A revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. At Estate Planning Legal Services, their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. Get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation and learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. 248-435-0400 or go to eplspc.com, 248-435-0400.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
That wreck on I-75 southbound after Vienna Road has cleared. We still have that disabled vehicle blocking your left lane on I-75 northbound at University Drive, and expect some delays on I-75 southbound at Outer Drive. We've got construction there blocking your left lane. That's scheduled until 3 p.m. next Thursday. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Dry weather expected with an east breeze this afternoon. Traveling for the holiday weekend, you've got partial sunshine, dry roads at cool temperatures, 67. Tonight, 52. Showers after midnight, 40 suburbs. Saturday, a gusty breeze around out of the east. Scattered showers, 65. Showers will end Saturday night, leaving us cloudy on Sunday, milder, 75. Good-looking Memorial Day, plenty of sunshine, warmer, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Sponsored by Femininio Law. GetDavidGetPaid.com. Traffic and weather is sponsored by Femininio Law. Get David, get paid.
You need more than just a great lawyer. You need a great team. And only Femininio Law has the accident response team. We're out there working on day one to get your life back and to get you paid. Call 855-65-CRASH or visit GetDavidGetPaid.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit Autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com.
760 WJR, right back here live at Hook Restaurant on the Nautical Mile in St. Clair Shores. It is National Safe Boating Week. It is the kickoff to boating, the boating season. And one of the reasons we are here, the main reason we are here, is because our good friend Pete Beauregard from Colony Marine has us out. Pete, thanks so much for the time. Thanks for having us out each and every year.
My pleasure. This is awesome. We've been doing this, gosh, for maybe 10, 12 years now, and it's a great place to do it. What a great restaurant on the water for people to come when they're out on their boat and come in for great food and enjoy the camaraderie of their boating friends.
We talk about Lake St. Clair, fresh water. We talk about the Nautical Mile. We talk about Macomb County, all the great things that are here. And part of that, it really starts with Colony Marine as well. It is a focal point of this region and the importance of boating. Just talk about the history of Colony Marine and the generations of families really that have had a hand in it.
Well, it's kind of cool. We've been fortunate enough to be in business now for going on 68 years. And my dad started the company up in Algonac, and we've got locations in, St. Clair County, Macomb County, Oakland County. And it's amazing, like what boating does to bring families together. With these devices that we have in our hands every day, and kids, when you get on a boat, you think about, I don't care how big the boat is. You got about a 12, 14-foot area that you have to interact, and you are forced to talk to each other. And sometimes what's cool is you get out there and you lose cell service, and now you actually have to talk to each other. You can't text with each other, sitting in the helm seat versus the passenger seat, right? Now you got to communicate, and it brings families together. And then what's cool about being in the business as long as we have is selling boats as second, third, fourth generation of families. And all they have to talk about is the memories that they had as kids growing up. And if you really think about it, how many summers do you have with your kids? And sometimes we get caught up in sports, and so everybody's gone. So, but boating brings everybody back together, the whole family, and that's the coolest thing about the lifestyle that we sell, and that's the funnest part about being in the business.
And you talk about that lifestyle because boating is a lifestyle. Boating is, and pardon the pun, kind of the anchor of a family summer and this season. And so many months are spent on that boat with each other, doing amazing things, even if it's just being together on the dock, just sitting at the end of the boat.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to be out on a lake and running somewhere doing a trip. You can be hanging out at the dock, and then you meet your neighbors. And the cool thing about having a boat and a slip is if you don't like your neighbor, you can move. It's kind of hard to do in a house, right? But most people get along because you're out here to relax, and everybody's got the same reason to be into this lifestyle, and it's just to enjoy what you work so hard for during the week, to enjoy those weekends with family and friends.
Talking to Pete Beauregard of Colony Marine, and one of the things we were just talking about with the our Macomb County Sheriff's Department was the safety of the boats. One of the things about people like you in places like you, when you sell a boat to somebody, you are not just throwing them the keys. It's not just a transaction. That lifestyle and that partnership, that relationship lives on forever.
Right, because good boating is safe boating, right? So you don't want to go out there and have a problem. One of the cool things that I thought the Macomb County Sheriff's Department, by the way, is great. All of them are, but they're not out there to ruin our fun. They're out to make sure that we don't ruin ourselves fun, right, by making mistakes. And I thought the cool stat that he gave is the amount of times he pulled people over, but the amount of citations. I guarantee you that the citations that they wrote were self-induced by somebody making stupid mistakes.
Yeah. And if you missed that, the Macomb County Sheriff's Department said last year on the water, they pulled over about 500 boats and only gave 70 citations. They were there to educate and make sure that everybody was having a good time. That just to share with people if they weren't listening.
And then the other side of it is when you buy a boat, do yourself a favor. And if you've never run a boat, go hire somebody to teach you how to run it, to enjoy it, to have a good time. Because you're not even going to have a good time if you're coming in bouncing off other people's boats, and you're not going to make a lot of friends that way, right? And but learning how to launch boats properly at the launch ramps and doing those types of things, that's really important. And there are people out there that'll do it. When if you buy a boat from Colony or all my friendly competitors, we have captains that take you out and learn how to run the boat. So yes, you can pass a test online and get the license, but that doesn't mean you know how to run a boat, right? No different than getting a driver's license. Doesn't mean you know how to drive a car. It's the same kind of deal. So it's really important to get that experience and do that so you can have more fun, so you can get more experience, so you can travel further out, and that's really what creates a better experience.
Pete, talk to me about trust in the industry, because people like you were just talking about, people that come to you for a boat. It might be their third or fourth generation of family that comes back to you because they trust who they're getting the boat from and the relationships that are cultivated from a place such as yourself. Talk about that trust that you have at Colony.
So, I mean, it's like anything else in life. You got to earn that over a period of time, right? And fortunately, we've been around, and we hopefully have a good reputation out there, and we try to work on that every day. Do we make mistakes? I'm sure we have made some, but the biggest thing is you keep building on every mistake that you make and say, how can we make this better? How can we make it easier? And also the technology of boating is getting to the point where it is easier to run a boat, to dock a boat, to where somebody that didn't maybe grow up in the industry and they're brand new to it, they're not afraid to do it anymore, where that used to be a barrier of entry to getting into this lifestyle. Now it's so much easier with joystick, docking and all the technology with GPS and charting and stuff. Nobody carries paper charts anymore, right? It's all it's on your phone,
right?
So it's so much easier to get into it. So the fear of getting into it is kind of gone, and that helps a lot.
I got about a minute left. Talk to me about your message to people in southeastern Lower Michigan right now. It is Memorial Weekend. Everybody's getting their boats ready to go out and have a summer of fun.
Man, it's like any.
Is this the best time of the year?
Well, it is. It's like the start of any season, right? I don't. If you're into sports, it's the start of
Opening day.
Yeah, opening day, or and this is kind of opening day for the boating industry, is this weekend, and man, my team is working their butts off to get everybody out on the water, and we're on schedule, man. We're going to make it happen by 4:00 today. Everybody's going to be on the water that wants to be on the water, but if the weather cooperates, that and it looks like it's going to be better, but. The biggest thing is just come and understand what Lake St. Clair and the Great Lakes offers. Our biggest asset in the state of Michigan, I think, is this freshwater Great Lakes. Yeah. And the boating, there's no better boating in the country than right here. And it starts right here in Lake St. Clair, in my opinion.
The great Pete Beauregard of Colony Marine having us out here today as we kick off the boating season and we kick off National Safe Boating Week. Coming right back from Hook, 760 WJR.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile, with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Big insurance, big pharma, big utilities. As Attorney General, Mike Cox beat them all, saving Michigan seniors and taxpayers billions. As governor, Mike Cox will take the fight to radical big government liberals by eliminating the income tax, dozing state government, rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, and getting prices down. He beat them before. He'll do it again. Marine, homicide prosecutor, Attorney General. Mike Cox for governor. Paid for by Mike Cox 2026.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR. Detroit. A Cumulus media station.
President Trump says she'll be missed. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. His director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is resigning after her husband was diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer.
Gabbard says her last day is expected to be June 30th. Her tenure as DNI has been marked by declassifying millions of pages of government files on the assassinations of President Kennedy and his brother, former Attorney General Robert Kennedy. She also released files she says shows Obama administration officials politicized intelligence about Russian election interference. A former member of Congress, Gabbard ran for president as a Democrat in 2020.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. President Trump posting that Gabbard has done an incredible job and that her principal deputy director, Aaron Lucas, will serve as acting DNI. The president's due in Suffern, New York at this hour, north of New York City, to focus on the economy and tax cuts. Fox's Nate Foy is there.
Trump will speak alongside New York Congressman Mike Lawler, who's in a very competitive House district. And Lawler is betting that Trump will energize voters, and they plan on talking about the SALT cap deduction that was increased from $10,000 to $40,000 in the One Big Beautiful Bill. Now, I talked to Lawler before this event began. He said that you can also expect immigration to be a big topic.
College student Sheridan Gorman, who was shot and killed in Chicago, was from Lawler's district. The suspect is undocumented and was free despite a previous arrest. New Fed Chair Kevin Warsh says he intends to fill the role with energy and purpose.
My goal now is to create an environment in which the best people can do their life's best work and to face every challenge in the spirit of common purpose and devotion to the national interest.
This at a White House swearing in where the president said he wants Warsh to be independent despite his frequent criticism of his predecessor. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
Sponsored by Paramount Roofing. Looking for a roofing company you can trust? Paramount Roofing delivers a 5-star roofing experience made easy. Get your instant free roof quote at weareroofing.com. Built to last, back for life with no money down and 5 years 0% interest. Residential and commercial roofing, Paramount Roofing. We've got an accident on I-75 northbound at University Drive that's blocking your left lane, causing stop and go from M59. That wreck on 75 southbound after Vienna Road has cleared, and we still have that construction on 75 southbound at Outer Drive. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Overcast and 63 today, cloudy with rain after midnight. More rain for Saturday with a high of 59. Mostly cloudy Sunday with a high of 71. A mix of sun and clouds Monday with a high of 78. Right now it's cloudy and 62 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Overcoming adversity, staying positive, and giving back to the world we live in defines the Denise Illich Show. This week, Denise gets to sit on the other side of the microphone and be the guest as she's interviewed by a man who the country has known and loved for decades, Michigan's own Dave Coulier. Dave asks Denise about how it all started, her family, the accomplishments she's most proud of, and what her toughest moments have been. Listen Saturday at 4 p.m. to the Denise Illich Show, sponsored by Secure Financial Group.
Hi, it's Dave Lorenz. The key to a great getaway is to know a bit about the place and to leave plenty of opportunity for discovery. We'll show you the way on the Michigan Travel Show, Sundays at 4 on 760 WJR.
Spring shouldn't be a struggle to breathe. May is Asthma and Allergy Awareness Month. And with nearly 1 million Michiganders affected, it's time to take control. Visit aafamich.org for local resources and management tips to help you breathe easier.
Metro Cars is currently seeking professional independent contractor elite luxury sedan drivers. This opportunity is ideal for individuals who value professionalism, flexibility, and delivering a high level of service. Applicants must be 23 or older with a clean driving record, a clean criminal background, no exceptions, and a commitment to exceptional customer care. For more than 35 years, Metro Cars has been a trusted transportation provider for executives, business travelers, and organizations across Michigan. Qualified candidates are encouraged to visit the Metro Cars corporate office at 24957 Brest Road in Taylor for open interviews. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., no appointment necessary. Additional information is available by calling 734-235-0750. Drive with a company known for professionalism, reliability, and experience. Metro Cars.
From Hook Restaurant in St. Clair Shores, this is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR. Today we're live for National Safe Boating Week. This broadcast is sponsored by Colony Marine. They don't just sell boats, they sell the boating lifestyle. Visit colonymarine.com. Here is Ryan Ermanni.
Hour number 2 of the program here live from Hook in St. Clair Shores on the Nautical Mile. It is National Safe Boating Week. We're having some fun out here. We invite you out. Show goes until 4 o'clock, and then we're going to stick around for a little bit, have some fun ourselves. Why not? We've got Joe Vaccari just a couple of minutes, but first let me get out to Marie Osborne. A newborn surrendered under Michigan's Safe Delivery Act is supposed to mean safety, compassion, and a second chance. But for one Michigan father, it became a battle for his child. For more on this, WJR's Marie Osborne has more on the case. Marie, this is an interesting one.
It is. It is. Local attorney Neil Rockine represented the birth father in this case. A young mother had surrendered her infant legally. The biological father was notified. He came forward. He got a DNA test. He proved his paternity, and he said he wanted to raise the baby. But under Michigan's safe delivery statute, that isn't enough. The adoption agency had placed the child with an adoptive family, and then he had to go to court.
He then has to go to court. And he has to fight, which he did in a trial court, to prove that he's a fit parent. And the adoption agency is the opponent. And all the while, the baby is with the adoptive parents. And my heart breaks for them because they're getting close to this baby. They're loving and connecting and identifying with the baby.
And after the trial and then several other legal actions, the father did prevail, but the process was grueling.
Do I think that it's important to know whether he's has a prior criminal history, whether he has a drug addiction, whether he's houseless or homeless, whether he's been convicted of child abuse or on a child abuse registry? Is he a sex offender? Of course, those are important questions to ask. And those are the questions that should be asked. But to make him go to court and have to subject himself to analysis about how are his finances, how's his job, is he in a relation? Let me look at your social media and see what you post on social media.
So Rockine says the safe delivery law was created to prevent tragedy. It's a good law. Infants abandoned in unsafe places was not how babies should be given up for adoption. But hidden in this statute is the big reality that a father, if one steps forward, he has to literally audition to become the legal parent for his child. Jennifer Schwartz is an adoption partner of Michigan. That's the company she works with. And she explains Michigan's safe delivery law is very unique in its legal requirements. And at its core, it's designed to prevent harm to children.
When a parent comes forward in a safe delivery case asking for custody of their child, just because you have a DNA test alone doesn't thereby grant custody. It thereby grants that individual the opportunity to have their day in court and to be heard by the judge. But the judge then has to decide, who is this person? We don't know who this person is and what is in the best interest of this child.
So Nrakine says he'd like to see some changes in this law, starting with a clear definition of fitness. What does that really mean? And in addition, he also wants to say that the adoptive parents in this case, they are also involved in this, and they are not the bad guys in all of this. They are good people who are trying to do a good thing. Ryan, we also want to say the identities of all the people involved here in this case, they've been kept confidential, and that the biological father, after all these legal proceedings, does now have custody of his child.
And rightfully so, it sounds like in that case. Marie, thanks so much, my friend. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Have a great Memorial weekend.
You too.
All right. Hey, joining us now, we are live at Hook Restaurant, and we're having a ball out here. Joining us now, the great Joe Vaccari of Joe Vaccari Restaurant Group, and has done so many great things in our area. Joe, thanks so much, my friend.
Thank you, Ryan.
Joe,
glad you guys are here.
Absolutely. And the news broke a couple of weeks ago. You have taken over here.
Well, we're trying to, we are.
Yeah.
We've taken over the day-to-day operations. We're trying to put it back to where it could be or should be. And then we're going to evaluate it at the end of the summer and see what changes are needed, or if we're going to still stay involved, or what's going to go on. We really don't know at this point.
Day-to-day operations are right here, right now, though.
Right, running day-to-day. All the general managers are ours. All the chefs in the kitchen are people that we've hired, and the wait staff is some are new and some are old. And we're excited. I've been on this street a long time.
Yeah, you have.
It's great in the summer, and in the winter. We that's what we really have to find is what will sustain 12 months, not just 4 or 5 months. That's the key here.
Talking about news, you've been making news all week, too, with Joe Muir going into the JW Marriott. We talked about that, but that is such an exciting move for the restaurant and for the people in this region.
It really is. It's we tried to figure out where the best place to put Joe Muir was, and it came to us that that's the best place. It's on the water. It's just really down the street from the Rensen, and it's a great, obviously, property, great hotel. It connects to the
Huntington Place.
Huntington Place. So it's got a lot of great reasons that we should be there. And Joe Muir's Seafood, I haven't owned it since 1929. That's, Joe Muir, the original Joe Muir did. But in 2011, I made a deal. We put it in the Rensen. We never looked back. It was great business. And now, unfortunately, things change. The Rensen's going to be something different. They're going to be knocking down the towers we were in. So this was a great opportunity and a great space to be. So we're very happy.
I would contend that Joe Muir and Andiamo at the Rensen was the best location anywhere in the state of Michigan to have restaurants. Joe Muir's is now taken care of. What do we know yet about Andiamo at the Rensen? We're still
we're still trying to find a spot that makes sense for us. I said to my general manager there, I said, don't be surprised if maybe they don't ever knock these towers down.
Right.
So exactly. we may still have a home there. I don't know.
Exactly, but there's so much in the air, but a lot goes into these decisions too, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something, because this is the summer. There is no better time than summer in Michigan, specifically in southeastern Lower Michigan with the water and everything like that. What about summer wait staff? How or summer help at restaurants, employment? How crucial is that to your organization? Just the amount of influx. Maybe it's whoever needs a summer job. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, we all need we all need help today. All of our restaurants and all of my competitors, we're all looking for help. So right about now, a lot of the college kids are coming home and we're looking to hire. So any of your WJR listeners that may have children or grandchildren and they're looking for a summer job, I would encourage them to give us a call, because we'll probably have a nice position for them. And the same thing with high school kids, that they don't usually get out till mid-June, but there's 3-4 months that they can work with us, and we're flexible on their hours and how many hours they can work. So
for the high school and college crowd specifically, how important is that, getting employment in the service industry as well? I feel like you can learn, sure, you can make some money, but what you learn about people and what you learn about relationships and how to treat people is, I believe, that's immeasurable.
I agree. Everybody that has worked for us that have, left us because they went to college and they have a career now, they always come back to us and they say, you don't know how much I learned about life being in the restaurant business. Like you said, you learned how to deal with people. You deal with people that most of them are always nice. There's some that aren't nice, and you got to learn how to deal with that. And it's just, I think for anybody, have your kids or your grandkids work a summer in the restaurant business. They'll have a better appreciation. They'll also probably find it, say, I don't want to work that hard. I gotta find a job that I don't have to work that hard.
They're working hard, but they're a part of a team and part of something special as well.
Yeah.
Joe Vicari, we appreciate you, sir. Always love an opportunity to speak with you. Continued success. Big fans of yours, and
thank you.
Enjoy the summer.
You too.
Happy Memorial Weekend as well. All right, we're going to take a break. Come right back. We are live at Hook. This is 760 WJR.
Find exactly what you are and aren't looking for. It's JCPenney's Memorial Day sale, and you'll save an extra 25% off with coupon on all your summer essentials. Yes, JCPenney. Valid 5/18 through 5/25. Exclusions apply.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Hey there, WJR listeners. Chris Alberta here at Principium. Listen, your bucket of money, that precious little gem that's taken you a lifetime to accumulate, has been growing. And if you're anything like all of my clients, you were worried that it might not be enough to supplement your retirement, especially if the markets have a downturn. All these incredible investment and insurance tools these days, they've been designed to address specific problems and concerns. But most folks I see every week, they have the wrong stuff. You know why? Because no one's taking the time to actually invest in them and diagnose the actual problem, the actual concern. Yeah, look, my process, it's laborious, but it's worth it. The results and the peace of mind are a byproduct of us learning together. If you're retired or nearing retirement, it's time for you to dig in with me. We can increase the reward and we can decrease the risk. It's a win-win. So stop going to steak dinners, free steak dinners offered by financial salespeople. Invest in yourself with me at my office on your timetable with zero pressure. Call me today, Chris Alberta at Principium, 1-888-800-8949.
We've all heard the challenges of being a rental property owner, but rental income is a great way to build your investment portfolio. The key is to leave the management of your property to North Bloomfield Properties. They've been a trusted resource for rental owners for over 3 decades. Visit northbloomfield.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Stand Up to Cancer.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
We've got a disabled vehicle blocking your left lane on I-75 northbound at University Drive that's causing stop and go from M59. Another wreck on 75 northbound at Grange Hall Road. That's in your construction zone, also blocking your left shoulder, and some slowdowns on I-94 westbound between Connor Street and Shane Street. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Cool weather continues, and then a warm up toward the middle and the end of the holiday weekend. East breeze today will keep us in the upper 60s and partly sunny. Tonight, thickening clouds and maybe some showers after midnight. At around 52, suburbs will be a little bit cooler. We'll keep that east breeze. Saturday, breezy and cool, 65, scattered showers. Showers will end Saturday night. Sunday, mainly overcast, but milder, dry, 75. Sunshine should return on Memorial Day, warmer, 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Coming in June, the biggest birthday party in history.
America 250, Michigan made, from 760 WJR.
$760 WJR. We just wanted to make sure we got our order in, right? It's Friday of the holiday weekend. We wanted to order something. We're having some fun. We're live at Hook. It is the official kickoff to the boating season. It is National Safe Boating Week. All things boating, and we are here courtesy of the invitation of Pete Beauregard and Colony Marine. They've done this for a number of years, upwards of 15 years. They've had WJR out for this weekend. I've known Pete for a number of years, and I've known this next guest for a number of years as well. David Shadden, he's the Commodore of the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club, and Pete Beauregard, a member of the Yacht Club.
Yep.
Gentlemen, thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Dave, there is so much to talk about. First of all, the lifestyle of boating. I feel like you are one of those, the epitome of living that lifestyle. You've done it from the time you were a kid, and it's a lifestyle that you live now.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. Grew up right here on Lake St. Clair up in Macomb County, and very proud of the family tradition of boating. It's truly remarkable.
What is what's so special about this time of year for a boater, for a boating family as well? Because there's so many memories that are made out on that water, on that boat.
Yeah, for us, at least with me and my brothers and my folks, we can't wait for this time of year. We actually get so excited. We meet at the boat every day this time of year, waiting to get ready to go out on the water for the first time. And so after work, that's like the first thing we do is head to the boat and go say hi to each other.
Talk to me about some of the great things happening at the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. I mean, we have this beautiful fresh water on Lake St. Clair, and then you see that tower at the Yacht Club, and there is something special about that.
That it really is. It's part of the tradition and really the community of Grosse Pointe Shores and the community. And we have a lot of great stuff going on at the club. As you know, we're embarking on our centennial anniversary coming up in 2029. And so we're really looking at the future and making it ready for the next generation.
100 years of the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club coming up. Pete, I know you've been there a long time. Just talk about that aspect of it as well. Just the improvements at the club and all the excitement happening over there.
It's really cool. So when I graduated from college, I put my
I want to join. I just always wanted to join the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. Being a kid from Algonac, growing up there, and the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club was like the epitome of like you made it, right? In the boating community but the friends and the people that I've made there, I would say almost anybody that I call one of my best friends I've met at the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. The community that it is all about and what our industry is all about, it makes that a really special place. And I will tell you this, I've sold every one of the Shadden boys and their dad a boat. So it's, it doesn't hurt business.
Right.
It
no
doesn't
doubt.
suck for business.
But we were talking about that a moment ago. Just, the generations of clients, the generations of families that you have helped get into this lifestyle and continue. That those relationships are what it's all about, isn't it?
That's what the whole boating community is all about,
Yeah.
right? And you're going to be talking to Amy Kruger here next, who is my competitor right next door, but she's also one of my best friends, and she's also a member of the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. And it is, yes, we compete business-wise, but we are all about what family lifestyle is all about. And you can't, in my opinion, you can't get that on a golf course. You can't get that anywhere else except out on the water, because you are stuck with each other, man. You are just a few feet apart, and you got to talk to each other and share stories and build memories, right? It's hard to do when somebody slices and somebody pulls, and now you're in separate parts of the fairway. You can't do that on the lake.
You talk about building memories, David, over the course of 100 years at the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. That's what generations of families have done. And you now are helping lead the charge in the next 100 years at the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club. And there's a lot of excitement coming up with these proposed renovations. What can you tell us about those renovations and where we stand right now with that?
Yeah, thank you. So a couple years ago, we started a project for the Centennial and really started working on how to make the place better for the next 100 years. The place needs some reinvestment in certain areas, and so that's part of the scope. But what we're looking to create is a real indoor-outdoor family environment for dining, covered dining experience, expanded pool deck, new outdoor kitchen, just an amazing new space that's really the lakeside of the campus. Down the road, we have, kind of the west side of the campus we'll look at, but this is the priority right now. Take advantage of the lake, the view, everything that Lake St. Clair has to offer.
Talk to me about membership as well. Where is the yacht club with membership right now? Are you accepting new members? What's happening?
Yeah, we are absolutely accepting new members. We've got a couple open slips. I think that's an industry thing right now. So you can still come in, join as a full boating member and get a slip, and we'd welcome that. So anytime anybody wants to come to the yacht club, just and learn more about it, it's on our website. And quickly link on the information, and we'll get you in.
That's fantastic. Talk about the open slips at the yacht club and at marinas all over Lake St. Clair. I think there's over 100 marinas that you can dock your boat. What is that experience like? How would you describe to people listening to this right now who may not be in the boating lifestyle? What's it like at those marinas when you dock your boat and maybe you live on it for the summer in many of these different locations?
So that's exactly what a lot of people do, right? So think about a marina as a subdivision that, you pull your boat, you're spending your weekend with your family. You get to know the families around you, the boats around you. It's like going up north, but not having that
drive.
Let's get up north. Let's get up. Let's beat the traffic. Let's cut the grass, and let's hurry up and turn around and go home before we run into traffic. You've got just a great weekend, and you're maybe a half hour, 40 minutes from paradise, right? If you think about it. And again, it's a community, and everybody's signed up for this, right? So everybody's in the same mode when they get there. And I'm going to mention one thing that when you drive by that iconic building at the yacht club, right, and you see that tower, and pull up to the gate and say, hey, look, I'm interested in joining here. Go through, take a tour. It looks like it's sort of blocked off, like it's so exclusive. It's not that. It's not a stuffy place. It's a family-friendly, great environment.
Great point.
And I think it's really important that people realize that although it's a private club, we got our arms open.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Pete. Dave, can you talk more about that? Because there might be an intimidation factor as people drive by that tower and see the gate there, but very welcoming place.
It is. To Pete's point, just come on in and basically knock on the door. We've got activities for all ages. Our swim program is unbelievable. Our sailing for the kids, our day camp is unbelievable. We got over 150 kids that are from 5 to 12.
Yeah.
That just do full-time day camp there. It's just really a great family place for all ages and all year round. Actually, we have a bowling alley.
Yeah. I love the bowling alley. I remember too. So I might be at the bowling alley tonight after a short time at Hook.
We won't let our heads go to the gutter.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. David Shadden, the Commodore of the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club, Pete Beauregard of Colony Marine. And as you mentioned, we are going to talk to one of your competitors, but it's a family out here on the Nautical Mile. It's a family out here in Macomb County and, of course, all throughout Lake St. Clair. We'll talk to Amy Kruger, the president and co-owner of Jefferson Beach Yacht Sales. I'll get that right before she comes on, I promise. 760 WJR.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Metro Cars is currently seeking professional independent contractor elite luxury sedan drivers. This opportunity is ideal for individuals who value professionalism, flexibility, and delivering a high level of service. Applicants must be 23 or older with a clean driving record, a clean criminal background, no exceptions, and a commitment to exceptional customer care. For more than 35 years, Metro Cars has been a trusted transportation provider for executives, business travelers, and organizations across Michigan. Qualified candidates are encouraged to visit the Metro Cars corporate office at 24957 Brest Road in Taylor for open interviews. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., no appointment necessary. Additional information is available by calling 734-235-0750. Drive with a company known for professionalism, reliability, and experience. Metro Cars.
Fox News, I'm Carmen Roberts. Fox News Digital has learned that Tulsi Gabbard is resigning from her post as Director of National Intelligence.
We are told that Tulsi Gabbard is resigning effective June 30th because of her husband's recent diagnosis of an aggressive form of bone cancer. She said that Abraham has been her rock since they've been married.
Fox's David Spot. President Trump welcomes a new chairman to the Federal Reserve.
The swearing in of our new chairman of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, Kevin Warsh.
The president at the White House ceremony this morning, moments before his nominee, Kevin Warsh, took the oath of office as chairman. He will replace Jerome Powell, who will remain on as a Fed Board of Governor. Warsh faces rising inflation and climbing bond yields as President Trump pushes for interest rate cuts. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup?
Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm, they make sleep easy.
We've got some stop-and-go traffic on I-75 northbound between M59 and University Drive. Also on 75 southbound between Naju and Front Street. An accident blocks your left lane on I-94 eastbound at 8 Mile. Also another wreck on 75 northbound at Grange Hall Road. That's in your construction area, blocking your left shoulder. Another wreck on I-94 eastbound at Middle Belt Road. That's also blocking your left shoulder. And steer clear of an accident on I-94 eastbound at 9 Mile. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Overcast and 63 today, cloudy with rain after midnight. More rain for Saturday with a high of 59. Mostly cloudy Sunday with a high of 71. A mix of sun and clouds Monday. We'll get up to 78. Right now, it's cloudy, 63 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Many people seem to be incubating a rage looking for somewhere to go. Are there times when you think the country's out of control? You see all these things and you wonder, what in the world is going on? Was it this way 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Do we have the will or not? But we are Americans, and I believe we absolutely do have the will. I do this show for you. And when you're not interested in it anymore, I will just go away.
The Mike Levin Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
When did watching TV go from a way to relax to a complicated chore? Well, if you're sick of huge cable bills or endlessly searching for the show everyone's talking about, then welcome to Philo. Philo's the streaming service that respects both your time and your wallet, without needing to cut the stuff you actually love to watch. This means live TV for more than 70 channels like Hallmark, History, A&E, and Lifetime, plus a huge library of blockbuster movies and classic shows, and an easy-to-use unlimited DVR that lets you save anything you want, skip all the ads when you watch. The best part? You get all this for just $25 a month when you sign up at Philo.tv. No hidden fees, no long contracts, just a genuinely great deal. And new users can try it completely free for 7 days. So head to Philo.tv, that's PHILO.tv, and experience a better way to TV. Subscriptions auto-renew at monthly rate plus applicable taxes. Cancel anytime. See terms at Philo.tv.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, it's the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now, 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
WJR just made it easier for you to nominate the next All Talk All-Star with Kevin Dietz.
This week's All Talk All-Star is Rachel Stewart, CEO of Gardner White, a woman who represents talent, discipline, and heart. We're proud to shine a light on her this morning.
Just send your nominee's information to alltalkallstars@cumulus.com. It's that easy.
I've been incredibly lucky and continue to be incredibly lucky with great mentors along the way. Just surround yourself with people, when you look at them, I want to be them in a few years.
Then listen to past winners at WJR.com/all-talk-all-stars.
Only Rachel is waking up worrying about Rachel's career. Maybe her mom, maybe. Don't be afraid to push it, ask questions. I think people always want to help. They're just busy. So, but be your best advocate. It always works.
Send your nominee now to alltalkallstars@cumulus.com.
You're listening to JR Afternoon on WJR, live from Hook Restaurant in St. Clair Shores for the kickoff to the Macomb boating season. This afternoon's broadcast is sponsored by Colony Marine. They don't just sell boats, they sell the boating lifestyle. Visit colonymarine.com. Once again, here's Ryan Ermanni.
Pete Beauregard was just talking about it a moment ago, just what a family atmosphere this lifestyle is. And Pete is continuing to be with us, and Amy Kruger is with us as well, the co-owner and president of Jefferson Beach Yacht Sales. And Amy, welcome into the show. Pete was talking about this family atmosphere, and I know you guys have known each other for a number of years. Heck, you grew up together. What's that like, that partnership, that competitiveness like to be with each other?
Thank you, Ryan. No, geez, my grandfather and Pete's father, my father and Pete's father, my father and Pete, my brother and I, we go way back from Okonak, long heritage of boating in our genetic DNA, and we've been neighbors at work and at home, and we love the lifestyle, and we don't look at it as competition. We look at it as how can we create more opportunity for people to enjoy all the beautiful things that come with being on the water.
Is that why there's decades of success for both of your companies? Because of the way you view business? It is a lifestyle. It is something that you do because you want that, want those people to feel the same way that you feel about it?
100%. It's incredibly joyful. I mean, we've had plenty of backyard powwows on strategizing and how can we get more people to get out on the water. And, you know, sometimes when things are challenging too, we share techniques and ideas, and it's a real honor to be able to have a friend and a colleague and not be looked at as competition. If they're not going to buy it from us, we want you to buy it from Colony.
And I think we make each other better too. Like, good competition makes the industry better. And what Amy and I do together is try and grow the pie. We're going to fight for our slice of the pie, but we want to grow the pie to make people realize how great this lifestyle is, and to get out there. And so how can we do that? So we take our individual business hats off, and we put sort of this collaborative hat on through what we do together and through our association to say, this is a great lifestyle. Let us get you into it. Let us do it right. But we know how to do it right. And that way you're going to enjoy it more, if that makes sense.
Absolutely does. Amy, we've talked so much today about the consumer end of it, how great it is for the people to come in and experience life on the water. Let's talk about the workforce development for a moment, because and I was talking to Joe Vicari about the restaurant industry. It feels like every industry is fighting for employees, fighting for good employees. Talk about the workforce development area that you are kind of going full force in right now.
Yeah, so the primary goal for the Michigan Boating Industry Association right now is workforce development. About a quarter of our technical workforce across the state is age 55 and older, and we have much less incoming tradesmen and women coming into this field. So keep in mind that Michigan statewide has an $11.7 billion economic impact. And between 2018 and 2023, we had an 82% growth in that impact due to the demand for recreational boating. And so this is something that we have to stay on top of so that you can continue to enjoy that lifestyle, and we can keep skilled mechanics, technicians, and specialty trades out there in the field. So we're working and collaborating extensively with high school CTE programs, community colleges, universities, and colleges to strengthen their programs, build programs, tie it back to internships, apprenticeships, and dealership relationships. We're taking our most senior techs and helping them build these curriculum, because that amount of knowledge is priceless. We need them to help reinvest into the young workforce, and there's so much opportunity for young people to get involved in this great, well-paying industry, and it isn't seasonal. Our technicians are employed all year long. I mean, Pete, same with you.
So if you think about what Amy just said and add to it that we've got an aging out workforce, but we don't have it backfilled. And I think the big misconception with our industry is that we're a seasonal business, but it's not. We're year round, and everybody works year round. And this is not a job, it's a career, and it's a good career, and it's a fun career. I mean, think about, how cool is it, to work on a boat, and you got to take it out for a sea trial to make sure everything. I mean, working in the environment that we do, and working around people that are spending their hard-earned money on something for pleasure, and they're just it's just a great environment, if that makes sense.
Without question, we are talking to Pete Beauregard of Colony Marine and Amy Kruger of Jefferson Beach Yacht Sales. Amy, it is a national conversation what you're talking about right now as well, and in skilled trades, the skilled trades and the opportunity to go into these skilled trades as our employees in these spaces are aging rapidly, and where is that gap? How do we fill that gap? How long does this take? How long will it take to catch up? For instance, the people in the industry that are, aging into this, how long will it take to implement a curriculum in which they will develop, train, and then get people up to snuff?
Well, it's a great question, and it is a trajectory, but there are a lot of good programs now. And if you go to boatmichigan.org, there's a career page that shows some of the places where you can get sometimes certificates, sometimes an associate's, or even like a 4-year degree. But we're really trying to build on the best practices that are already out there. So like Ferris, for instance, has a heavy equipment program, and we're working with them, and we reviewed their curriculum to add marine component to it because it doesn't require an overhaul. I mean, diesel's diesel. So, and then also working with, the community colleges. They meet, like the Marine Trades Institute up in Cedarville and the UP offers a 1-year program in either boat building or technical skill building. And those are starter places. So we have to have the relationships good with these schools and people like our organization, Pete's organization, other dealerships and marinas around the state so that they can get the practical side as well, not just the classroom, and just keep them growing. I mean, we're believers in continuing education until, ongoing.
How important is that conversation to have too, to let people know that this stuff is out here, that these jobs, these careers, these are career jobs that you are in for a long time, and you can make a darn good living doing it.
So I think, Amy and I talk about this all the time. We've got coworkers that we worked with for 30, 40, 50 years, right? That have been with our companies that long. And so they wouldn't be there that long if it wasn't, if we weren't competitive on the financial side, but also they wouldn't stay with us if we didn't give a great work environment, right? And Amy's too modest to probably say this, but I would say it for her. She is one of the biggest vocal proponents of, we have to get to these folks at a younger age, at the high school level, so that they know that there's an opportunity. It blows us away when we sit and talk about this, that we talk about unemployment, yet we've got these gaps that we can fill. And so what we have to do is work with every opportunity that we have to bring people and say, here's a great career path, and a fun career path, and an enjoyable career path that you can be fulfilled when you go home on a Friday night. You said, I just made somebody's great weekend.
Pete Beauregard, Colony Marine, Amy Kruger, Jefferson Beach Yacht Sales. Thank you so much for being here. This is 760 WJR.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy or
Coming in, hey D, coming in 3 and 2. Coming up at 2 o'clock on 760 WJR. It is Memorial Day. We hope, wait a minute, you can, sorry. I'm taping a promo for Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. This is behind the scenes right now. This is, we'll see how many times I screw it up before we actually